What is going on, traders? Angelo here with The Funded Trader, and we have another video. In this one, we're going to cover unsuccessful challenges, some mistakes that you guys should avoid while you're trading the challenge. You can see here we've got our new dashboard up, and we're going to run through this challenge in particular, and then 4 or 5 more, and we're going to actually get into FX book to look at more of the details, as our dashboard currently doesn't have all the details I'd like to share with you. So what our dashboard does have, guys, is the account equity, the goal meter right here, the rules and targets, overall statistics, the date since inception, and your win and loss rate. So it's going to show your balance overall throughout the challenge, how you're doing, and then over in the account history tab, you'll be able to actually see right here all of the trades that you've taken when you breached the account, so when you actually violated, the exact moment, the exact time. Then you come over here into the profit share tab, so you can see in here where you got your lifetime profits and losses, so where your accounts basically are at. So let's go ahead and dive in to these other accounts and actually get into some mistakes that these people could have avoided to make sure that they actually passed their challenge or qualified for a retry. So account number one right here, let's just start off looking at the account equity. So at the moment, you can see we're down at 12.4%. So this account has just failed the overall drawdown. And for the first trade or two, this account actually did go up 2.26%. But then from there, ultimately, it went down ever since. So this account went down all the way to 12 when it went from its peak. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the history here. As you can see, it did fail overall, but let's scroll down and see how many trades were taken. So we had 23 trades taken. Right away, we can see the profitability, very low, 22% profitable. So this trader obviously does not have a winning strategy. They don't have an edge, so they're continuing to take trades. Their losses are bigger than their wins. You can see their average loss. So they don't have a good risk-reward ratio. And then as you can see, their shorts, whatever they're shorting, which we'll take a look at in a second, their shorts are 0% win probability. So right off the bat, you can tell if they cut out shorting these trades, potentially in the next go round, that could improve their P&L dramatically. So let's scroll down here. We'll see their average length is 6 hours and 9 minutes. And let's take a look at some of the pairs that they're trading. So they're trading gold. So they've got GJ, Euro GBP. So a couple different pairs here. Let's see which ones are most profitable. So we've got a couple big wins on gold and GJ. And then let's take a look at which ones are not. So on the same side, we've got gold, EJ. So biggest losses are on gold. So it looks like if, for the most part, they stopped trading gold, this would obviously help them out dramatically. We can also see that their lot sizes are getting kind of crazy. So on the actual winners, we had 3 lots, 10 lots, 3 lots, 10 lots. So they're getting pretty crazy with the lot sizes. And you can also see the times: 1 day, 1 hour, 47 minutes. And then all of these losses are coming in under 1 hour. We can see that they're over leveraging, so they're using higher lot sizes. Look at what their open prices were and ultimately what their closed prices were. So they're obviously taking up a ton of pips here as well. So their stops are really wide right here. So one thing I would recommend, obviously always use a stop loss, but potentially cutting these losses much sooner. You're letting the losses run much longer than your winners. So that's something that you need to reverse. You need to let your winners run longer than your losses. Let's come down here, take a look. So yeah, that's pretty much it right here. So main pairs they're trading: gold, GJ, Euro JPY. Looks like gold they don't really have a sound strategy for. So you got to kind of go back and do some testing to actually come up with a better strategy. Next, let's come to this account. So this account actually ended up overall positive, but you can see right here they had this equity dip. So basically, they were running really smooth. I mean, we could see here they did have a little bit of a drawdown on September 1st, actually, as well, that could have pushed them over. So one thing right away, guys, if you're hitting the daily drawdown, you should just be using stop losses that cut you out before that daily drawdown is going to be hit. This could have been avoided, and worst case scenario, they were up 8%, and they ended up hitting the daily, or right before hitting their stop loss before the daily drawdown, I'm sorry. And then you would have been still up 2%, still with an opportunity to pass the challenge or get a retry. So right away, I noticed that. Let's come down and see some of their stats. So they are overall profitable. They're overall profitable, 78% win ratio. You can see longs and shorts equal kind of win ratio right there. Their average wins and losses, their risk reward ratio isn't great, but because of the fact that their probability or their profitability is so high, that is actually creating a profitable trading strategy. Let's see, their best trade 3,800, worst trade 856. So obviously they're letting their winners run, so this is also a good sign. Let's come over and see if they're using stop losses. Right away, we could see no stop losses being used on the account. So this is just right away red flag. We could even go the day that they failed, September 10th, and we could take a look at some of these trades. September 10th, right here. So these are ultimately the trades that pushed them into a lot of drawdown. They didn't have stop losses on golds. They also leveraged into US 30 while they were in golds. So you could just see, cut down the pairs, especially the highly volatile pairs. Always use a stop loss. That would help this account dramatically. And you can see they're trading mainly golds and US 30. So use stop losses, moral of the story. Let's go on to the next account. They actually have this BTC trade as well. Their lot sizing, actually, before we move on, is decent. Let's see here. So their bigger wins, they did have more leverage on. They were using higher lot sizes. So I would also recommend using a smaller lot size, especially without using a stop loss. So the next account here, let's take a look. This account as well ended up profitable, but before that we did violate the max daily drawdown. So this account equity-wise was looking good, was chilling near 0%, and then we had this large dip off and it kind of just fell from there. So let's take a look at the profitability. Profitability 38%, so their win ratio is about 38% right here. As you can see, barely any longs, but shorts won 41%. Their average win, 3 times their average loss, so definitely had a profitable strategy. I'm just wondering if they were using stop losses. So let's take a look on September 2nd. So right here, on September 2nd, they had this GSEF trade. So it does look like they were using stop losses on this one. So it just looks like they were in multiple trades and they didn't add up all of those stop losses and what the worst case scenario could be. So I would recommend using a lot size calculator before you guys enter your trades. If you're going to enter multiple positions in here, make sure that you guys understand what the max drawdown can be. Even looks like they were in these trades as opposed to these. They were in these trades up here that ended up going into some drawdown while they were in this trade as well. So just add up all the positions. For example, if you're going to enter GSEF, GJ, and GJ, 3 positions, go to the lot size calculator. Instead of using 5% for each of these positions, use 1.5 for this one, 1.5 for this one, 1.5 for this one. This way, if they all lose, then you guys don't hit the max daily drawdown. Your account is still in good standing. So let's go on now to the next account. On this one, we can see here this person had drawn down and hit the max daily drawdown. So they had about an 8% drawdown in one day, which obviously violates the challenge. They ended up going positive, but they did violate that beforehand. Coming down to their profitability, so they are not that profitable. 33% win ratio right here. Pips 3,075, which really don't matter, but average win is 4,000, average loss 1,400. So the average win is about 3 times the loss. This means they have a very good profitable strategy. Even though their win ratio is relatively low, that does not really matter in this scenario because of the fact that their risk reward is so good. Look at their best trade, 29,000, worst trade, 7,400. Now we don't know if that trade was hit basically due to the fact that they violated the daily drawdown, but let's take a look at some of the pairs that they're trading. We'll go ahead and sort it by symbol. So we've got US 30, we've got NAS 100, we've got gold. Those seem to be the 3 pairs that they're trading. Yep. So 3 extremely volatile pairs, guys, that they are trading. So maybe throw in a pair that has less volatility into the mix as opposed to these. Let's take a look at their duration. I just want to see their average. They're definitely an intraday trader right here. No trade over 2 hours. Average trade length 12 minutes. And are they using stop losses? So let's go ahead and look at their losses right here. Seems like they are using stop losses, but they aren't using take profits. So always recommend using stop loss and take profit. And look at these trades under 1 minute, instantly losing this amount, 11 minutes. I mean, they're just super high leverage. Look at these lot sizes, 20 lots. So definitely one of the mistakes to avoid, guys, just using lot sizes that literally are too big for the position. If you plug this into a lot size calculator, you can very easily tell, guys, that you're going to hit the max daily drawdown, maybe the max overall drawdown, actually, just from the trade fluctuating going into drawdown. You don't want to be in a position and your stop loss is below the max daily drawdown. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Make sure it's above. That way, you'll never get in a scenario where you violate that rule. So definitely a scalper, but they just weren't calculating the stop losses and the lot sizes correctly. Last but not least, we're going to get into this account. So they did not really have any profitability. They went down 5%, went up, went down, ended up violating the max daily loss. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, they ended up violating the max daily loss right here. I think actually this account ran out of time. So they ended up down 11.4%. They didn't actually hit the 12%. Coming down here, you can see this account clearly does not have a winning trading strategy. They've only won 12% of their trades. Even though it's a 2-to-1 risk reward, the profitability is so low that it can't possibly make any money with the strategy they're using. Average time 3 hours right here. And again, we can see the worst trade. We'll see what pairs they're actually trading. I don't want to look at the pips too much. Let's look at the symbols. Trading all minor pairs right here. Let's go ahead. We got gold. We got US 30. All right, so let's take a look at some of the bigger losses. We've got gold, biggest loss. That's another thing. If your losses aren't all relatively similar, like if you're not risking a similar amount per trade, that also does not equal up to a winning strategy as well. You can see a ton of losses in here. Some of the trades are holding for 21 hours, some 28 minutes. So really no strategy unless they're trading multiple strategies. None of them seem to be profitable. Stop losses, obviously no stop losses on their bigger losses. So that's something that they can easily implement and do. And one thing I'll take note of is cut down the pairs, guys. There are so many pairs being traded in this strategy they're utilizing. Cut down the pairs unless you have a more sophisticated model that you are going after, more sophisticated strategy. You cannot possibly trade this many pairs and be profitable. At least this person, I know some people are out there that will say that it's possible, but at least this person, cut the pairs down so that way you give yourself a much better opportunity at passing the challenge. So those are about 5 challenges, guys, that people have taken that they could have improved on, some mistakes to avoid. If you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to put a suggestion down below if you guys want any other types of videos created. As always, thank you so much for all the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.